Hello, my name's Charlie Gomez, and I'm a 1-2 no-limit hold'em grinder down in South Florida. I mainly play in Hialeah and the Hard Rock, which is in Hollywood. I prefer Hialeah. I feel like the games are softer, easier decision for me to make. I've been playing about 30 hours a week for the last 6 months. I'm about 8 big blinds per hour player, which means I make about $16 an hour. I do have a part-time job. $16 an hour does not pay the bills. Well, I started playing poker when I was about 18, which I'm 23 right now, so that's 5 years ago. I'm currently driving to the casino right now, so I'm sorry if I'm looking up and down. But yeah, I started with just paychecks. Sometimes I saved up some money, but I had the problems everybody else did. I would save up some money and I would play. Sometimes I would take too much money one day and I would be felted and I would just lose it all. I had situations where I would lose my whole paycheck in one day. It's really tough to grind up a roll when you really don't make much money. So you have to find ways to play online sometimes with $100, $200. You can't play 1-2 no limit live with $2,000. It's just not possible. You're gonna go on a downswing where you'll lose maybe $1,500 to $2,000, and it's really frustrating. It's stressful. It's not worth it. I believe to play 1-2 successfully live, if the games are soft, 30 buy-ins if you're a winning player. And if your variance ain't too high, like if you're aggressive, you might want 40 buy-ins. If you're a little bit on the nittier side, you might want 20 buy-ins. I'm more in between. Sometimes I pick spots. Sometimes I punch stacks. Sometimes I make great decisions. Sometimes I make great folds. I would say the hardest part of my game is making the good fold. A lot of times I like to call, just like every other fish does. I would say there's about 3 keys to being successful to playing live poker, especially low stakes. One, my greatest one, is study. If you study easy game and you learn the maths of poker, you could easily break even in this game. Just studying. 2, you could make friends, discuss hands, see where you go wrong in certain situations, see where you lose money, see where you're not getting enough value, see where you're calling too much, see your pre-flop ranges, see playing out of position. I don't really like calling 3 bets out of position unless I have a very strong holding. Sometimes I'll throw a 4-bet in with certain hands, depending on the player type. Another key to being successful is knowing your players. I tell everybody, don't bluff a fish. Never bluff the fish. The fish always wants to call. That's why we want them at the table. They're usually calling stations. They're not going to make the right fold. They're just never going to. It's not profitable in the long run. They're never going to make the right fold. Yeah, so this is my first video log. I'll hopefully be logging in 3 to 4 hands today, maybe more, depending how we play. I'm looking to play about 6 to 7 hours. My bankroll currently is at $6,000, and I'm bringing $600 today. I like to buy in at 100 big blinds. I feel like I'm good enough to compete with other players at that level. I know a lot of players like to short stack it, because with $600 I'll only have 3 buy-ins. But with 3 buy-ins, that should be good enough. These games are soft enough. I should never lose more than 3 buy-ins. So at $600, that is 10% of my bankroll. That is what I suggest for any player to bring to the casino. 10%. You never want to lose more than 10% of what you have. Losing more than 10% could really harm your game. It could cause stress. It could cause loose play. It could cause bad calls, bad folds. It could really tilt you to where you lose too much of your roll, and there's just no coming back. We are currently at Hialeah Park Casino. down in South Florida. The day does not look like we're out here in Miami at all. It actually looks pretty ugly outside. I guess we got about 7-8 hours ahead of us. Looking to make a lot of money. There's poker room. It seems like we're starting to pick up cards now. Not too much longer after the deuce 6 hand, we pick up queen queen in the small blind. Unfortunately, we're first to act. There's a straddle on the button, $5. We make it 15 to go. It gets folded around to the hijack, who costs $15. He's been playing a little aggressive. I seen him put it in with very weak holdings. Actually, I saw him put it in with a gutter ball. Drawing to just a gutter ball about 5-6 hands before he just rebought. He seems a little tilted. The button obviously costs $10 more. And we go 3 ways to a flop that comes 8 high. It's 8-4 deuce, 2 hearts. Pretty favorable for us. I lead out $22 into 45. I don't want my sizing to be too large because he's just going to fold mostly all of his overcards. If he has a pair, he's always going to call. But yeah, I lead out for $22. And he thinks for a little while. He picks up calling chips. And he actually ships it in for $110. Button quickly folds, I think, for a little while. And I put it in. We have queen queen. We have an overpair to the board. We should be good most of the time. Board runs out 8-3. No heart comes in, and he shows jack jack. And we have queen queen. I guess just a small cooler, but great outcome. We picked up about a $265 pot. Pretty good outcome.
Steve, hold on to Steve. Hold on to the
Okay, so now we have ace-10 on the button. We have 3 limpers. We raise it up to $12, and we actually go 4 ways to a flop. I guess you could argue now that my raise sizing could be a little larger. Maybe I could raise it up to $15 to $17 and maybe get a heads up. But yeah, I figured maybe 6x here will get maybe a couple folds, but it doesn't seem to do the job. So we go 4 ways to a flop that comes ace 6-4 rainbow. Seems pretty favorable for us. Not too many draws that could be here, except for maybe 5-3 that's going to continue. So we bet only, it goes check to us, and we bet 17 into $48. Maybe we get some floats from gutters and stuff like that.
Cool.
We get 1 caller, and he's directly to my left in the small blind. So the turn comes a 5. He checks. We bet 40 into $90. He thinks for a little while, thinks for a little longer, and he calls. The river is an ace. We have 3 of a kind. Pretty good hand, right? We have ace-10. We have 3 aces. He leads out $50. He leads out 50 into about, I believe, 100 and something dollars.
Okay, I thought you.
I guess you could argue a fold here. What is he repping? There is a straight on the board. Is he really going to do this with ace-9, ace-8? I don't think so. He is a pretty bad player, in my opinion. He makes a lot of weird moves. But he bets just $50, so I don't think we could fold. I throw the $50 in there, and he tells me he has a boat. I tell him boat is good. He shows ace-5, and we muck. He takes down the pot. Unfortunate for us, but I guess we could have lost. We could have lost more in that hand. A couple orbits after the queen-queen hand, we pick up ace-10 offsuit in the small blind. There's an $8 straddle on the button. I just call along. We don't have too great of a hand. We can't really raise. Not from the blinds. At least I don't think it's profitable. And we go 5 ways to a flop. It seems to go that way a lot. But yeah, we go 5 ways to an ace-10 queen rainbow flop. Great flop for us. I don't want it to get checked around and see maybe a jack or a king to kill our action on the turn. So I just lead out $20 into 40. I bet about half pot. Early position calls, and the hijack thinks for a little while, and he raises to about $55, I believe. And we ship it in. We have 2 pair. He could have worse 2 pair. He could have ace X. And we put it all in. Early position calls, not for much more. And then the original raiser puts it all in as well. The board runs out 7-3. And we show ace-10. And we're good. We take down a $200 pot. Pretty good outcome. He later on tells me he has ace-jack. So I guess he kind of got cooler.
77.
What's up, break? So we should have
65. Can I get 2? 77. And then outside is $4. $4 outside.
Huh?
$4
Oh, it's $4?
Yeah, because you had 77
oh, okay.
and 80. Alright, run it once.
Ding, 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 ding.
Alright.
2 pair.
No, it's a minimum 2 pairs. Let me see this. Lord.
Thank you.
Lord.
Unfortunately, I was charging my phone and wasn't able to record this hand. And this was the hand of the day. We have ace-queen offsuit in the small blind. And we get 2 limps. We raise to $12. Like I said in the last hand, maybe our raise sizing should be a little larger. We actually go 4 ways to a flop now. Flop comes queen, 9, deuce, 2 diamonds. I lead out for 30 into $48. It should connect with with at least 1 to 2. It actually connects with all of them somehow, and we get 4 calls. The turn is a 7, pretty safe card. Only hands that get there now are queen 7, and if somebody had queen 9, I feel like we would see a raise with 2 diamonds being on the board. So it seems pretty safe to bet here. I bet $90 into 170. It goes fold, and then the button thinks for a while. I like to say that he's a fun player. Seems to like to gamble a lot. I saw him call down twice with second pair, triple, and he got triple barreled. So he calls, and the river is a deuce, which is a blank. He should not have many deuces in his range. So I think for a while, and I try to see how much value can I really get. There's $350 in the pot. If he has a 9 here, he's not going to call $200. He's not going to call $250. He might not even call 170, 180. And if he has 10s or jacks, I still want him to call me. So I bet 110 into 350, and he thinks for a little while, and he levels himself into a call. He doesn't tell me what he has, but he calls and mucks because I show ace queen, and he says I'm good. So I take down a $570 pot. That's a big pot, almost about 300 big blinds. I would say today was a pretty good day. That was nice.
Player with number 27, please return to your seats. Player with number 27, please return to your seats.
Yep.
I'm saying though. You back chill, bro. I ain't want to eat over here, bro.
Thank you.
Please were calling my name.
It looks like on our first vlog, we booked the win. That's not always gonna happen, but pretty good turnout. I was in for $200. I found a nice loose table. People were drinking. People were from out of town. And everybody was having a good time. A lot of straddles, a lot of joking around, a lot of loose plays. And luckily I got it in good and held most of the time. I was in for 200 and cashed out for exactly $735. Unfortunately, the table died out, and I guess I felt like it was a good time for me to leave. I made a nice little profit, had some fun, didn't have to waste any money on food. That's always nice. So now it's time to head home, relax, study, edit these videos, and hopefully it comes out good.